So today's practice is all about caring for your spine and caring for your back. And it's a really lovely practice because it's super gentle. It takes place 99% on the floor. I think we do one downward dog as we come into one leg stretch. And as we go through, the most important thing is that I want you to really kind of home in to your body and just listen, just listen to what your body's telling you. Because it's amazing, because we hurtle around 24/7, we often miss signals and signs, and it's just really nice. That's the beauty of yoga, really, is that you can slow things right down and you can tune in. Having said that, yoga is your practice, so if tonight is all about you just relaxing and you decide to curl up in a ball and go to sleep, that's absolutely fine. If you want to listen to all the information I'm going to try and give you with regards to certain stretches that will help and why they help and how areas that we become tight in have a knock-on effect with others. So if you want to listen to it for an educational purpose, then brilliant. And if basically you've just walked 26 miles like Abby and you're absolutely knackered and you just need a really good stretch, or you've been gardening all day like I'm sure half of you have and you just literally need to stretch your back out, then that's fine too. So you use this practice exactly for what you need it for, okay? And I love the fact the Riley Flinders family are chilling out on the floor and going for it. Fantastic, love it. Right then, team. So what I want you to do is we are going to start in that fabulous position, Shavasana. So come onto your backs. Okay? And I simply want you to just chill. So maybe tense up first and then allow yourself to completely relax and melt into the mat. Okay? And we're going to start to home in on our breath. That's the first thing I want you to home in on. So as we go through and we move from one pose to the next, I might give you like a little bit of homework if you want it. And I'll give you sort of like the odd thing to sort of really home in on, focus on. So this particular pose, I want you to home in on your breath. I'm going to play some music. I won't have it too loud. Okay guys, so we're not forcing anything at all, we're just allowing the entire body to melt into the floor, melt into the mat. The feet flop open, the palms up to the ceiling. Breathe in through the nose, and then you can choose either out through the nose or out through the mouth. I have no preference throughout this practice. The only thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to try and always breathe in through the nose rather than the mouth. Generally the nose is used for breathing and the mouth for eating, so unless we're doing a particular cooling breath practice, generally we try and breathe in through the nose. Okay, and let's really start to home in on our breath. And as we do, I'd like you to take your hands and place them under your back, sort of around your rib cage. So feel your ribs at the front of your body and then trace your rib cage all the way round to your back. And then just hold on to your back as if you're holding onto a corset. And I want you to imagine as you breathe that you're expanding widthways. And our lungs are the largest organ in the body. I don't know if you knew that, but they are absolutely huge. Wherever you have rib, you have lung tissue. And so your lungs literally are traveling down your back. We don't really tend to think of them down our back, we think of them in our chest. So I want you to take a huge inhale. And feel the chest, feel the ribs, feel the back and the sides expand as you take in fresh oxygen. And then as you exhale, just feel everything start to collapse. Come back down, slowly. Make it big, make it long. And then give me one more super deep inhale. And as you go slower and as you go deeper, your body starts to switch from fight or flight to rest and digest. So we're already telling our body that we're starting to relax. So if you ever need to try and chill out, this is an amazing tool. Okay guys, from here we're going to move on. Maintain observation of the breath. And all I want you to do is take the arms above the head and point them on the floor and stretch the toes in the opposite direction. So give me the longest, tallest stretch that you possibly can, okay? So fingers are pointed, toes are pointed, and inhale and exhale. There's nothing technical about this. I simply want you to enjoy it. Just stretch the entire body out. Inhale and exhale. And now I'd like you to take the arms down by the side, so sweep them down the side as if you're making snow angels. And allow them, just tuck them under your back, under the curve of your back on top of each other. And plant your feet into the floor. Okay, so the soles of your feet are pressed to the earth. And as you do that, lift up the pelvis and tilt the pelvis. And then reposition, so you're almost lengthening your spine at the bottom, and then place your back on the floor. And again, we're going to start to inhale, and this time as we inhale, just start to squeeze that pelvic floor. So imagine maybe you need to go to the bathroom and you're just holding it, so squeeze the pelvic floor, start to tilt the pelvis up, inhale, and then exhale, draw down. Tilting the pelvis up. Inhale, just let it all go, let it be natural. Feel the natural curve of your back, come back. There's a gap there. And then as you exhale, curl the tailbone up. And just exhale and gently, gently start to bear down the navel towards the spine. And you should start to feel your spine squeeze into your hands behind you. Give me one more. Inhale, allow everything just to feel natural. And then exhale, draw the tailbone up. Press the navel to the spine and just exhale. So naturally curling the tailbone and pressing the spine into the floor. Not too hard, just gently, just to a rhythm. Okay guys, and from here just release the hands, hook the knees into the chest and start to give yourself a little hug. And we're just going to actually do swirls. So let's swirl around maybe from left to right. Just bringing the knees into the chest and just rolling around on the base of the spine. So what you're doing here is you're starting to roll around on the lowest part of the spine, the sacral region where your sacrum is, and the coccyx. Okay, so that's the lowest part of the spine. It's fused to the pelvis. It's where your tailbone is. And actually there's a lot of compression here. If you think throughout the day, you're walking and forces of gravity are pushing your spine down. There can be a lot of pressure here. Let's go in the opposite direction. Just start to roll around. So just by doing this, you're giving yourself a natural massage. Lovely. Okay, so from here, what I'd like you to do is we're going to start to take the knees wide. So just let the knees fall wide. And if you want to, you can take the big toe, just hook around the big toe with the index finger and allow the knees to come into your armpits. And you might feel like you're hanging on here. So what I want you to do is hang on. I want you to squeeze everything you've got. So squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs, possibly lift your chest, squeeze everything, and then force yourself to just release and feel the difference. And throughout the day, we don't realise it, but obviously through sitting, through the action of walking, particularly if we're walking a long way, all those actions create a shortening of the hips and a tightening of the hips. And I just want you to think about consciously relaxing the hips. When our hips are short and when our hips are tight, they actually pull on the lower back. Okay, so that's another reason why we feel back pain. So if we can think about loosening and releasing the hips, we can get great gains in the lower back. Okay, so just rock from side to side. Okay, one inhale, bring the knees back together. And then from here, I'd like you to lift your chest up to your knees and you'll feel your core engage. And then from here, just grab your right knee and press it into your chest and extend your left leg straight down. Now, normally we might say just allow that leg to float to the floor. I want you to keep the hips nice and straight, okay? So I want everything squared to the earth and just lift the chest. We're engaging the abs. We're keeping everything quite tight at the moment. Inhale, and then lower your head down to the mat and just relax. And now lower your left foot to the ground, but be mindful that we want the hips to be square. Okay, from here what we're going to do is we're going to take the left hand and we're going to take it to the outside of the right knee and simply take the right leg across the left side of the body and take a spinal twist. And expand and take the right arm out to the side like a letter T. Lovely. Okay, now float the other arm out to the side as well. So we're lying on the floor. We look like we're on a cross almost. So we're twisted, but our arms are out side by side, letter T. And now what I want you to do is I want you to take your right hand and I want you to almost wave it over the top of your body, like as if you're painting a rainbow all the way over the top. And clap your right hand on top of your left hand. And with your index finger now start to draw a huge circle around the back of your body, trace along the floor. And when you get to around about 2 o'clock, I'm thinking you should start to feel a pull through the shoulders and through the bicep and across the chest. Can anybody feel that? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Okay, so once again, what we're finding here is that we're connected throughout the entire body, so we've got tightness through the chest, travelling down the side of the body, wrapping around the hip, and again, all of these things connect to the spine and might potentially give us some backache or strains and pains. So it's just really good to be mindful of these things. Let's do that once more. Take the right hand, wave it across the top, clap onto the left hand, and then trace the finger all the way around. Notice how tight things become as you get round, maybe to about 2 o'clock. Ooh, that's sore, okay. And let's come back to centre, roll back, hook both knees into the chest, and we're going to do the other side. So lift the chest up to the knees. And now extend the right leg down, but not to the floor, just hovering. Bring the left knee into the chest. Everything's squared to the earth. And slowly release the head to the floor, float the foot to the floor, keeping everything central. And then take the left leg across the right hand side of the body. And extend the left arm out to the side. Okay, now extend the right arm out to the opposite side. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take the left hand, we're going to wave it across the top of the body as if we're drawing a rainbow. Take the index finger and draw a huge circle around the top of the body, all the way down, super tight once again, all the way through the biceps, through the chest. Take the left hand, wave it across the top, clasp the palms together, take the index finger and just draw a circle all the way around the top of the body. Feel the stretch as you start to bring the finger back down before you get to that sort of parallel position. Just feel the stretch, feel the tightness. We're walking around carrying this tightness and we never give ourselves time to relax or to decompress, so now we're just going to give ourselves that special time. Okay. Let's come back to center and just hug the knees into the chest. Okay guys, from here, float the head down to the floor, float the feet down to the floor, keeping the knees bent, and we're just going to do some articulation of the spine, okay? So press the hands into the floor, and from here, I'd like you to start to press away from the earth and start to lift the pelvis up, and we're going to come into a bridge position. So start to lift, and as you get to the top, really feel the glutes engage, so squeeze the glutes. Okay, let's try something. As you're at the top of your bridge, go onto your tiptoes. Okay, that feels quite uncomfortable. So let's roll it back down again, all the way down to the earth. And this time as we roll up, I want you to consciously press into the earth using the heels of your feet. So start to press into the earth, press through the heels, lift the pelvis, push the pelvis up to the sky, squeeze the glutes, and now really activate through the heels. And feel how much stronger we are as a base when we use the back of our body rather than the front of our body. Okay, so just flip to the toes again, see how that feels. Now go to the heels and repress and engage. Okay, and roll all the way down, fantastic. And you should have felt a little bit of glute activation there as well. And it's really important to have strong glutes in order to protect the spine. It acts as a really strong support system. And when we're trying to activate our glutes in a bridge, we often press the heels into the ground. So just remember that, guys. Okay, let's hook those knees into the chest one more time. And this time we're going to float the right foot down to the floor, keeping the knees bent, and we're going to take the right leg across the left leg, and we're going to come into a figure four stretch. Okay, so lovely. So right leg is crossed over the left leg, and then we grab the left leg and gently ease it in and feel the stretch in the outer hip. Okay, piriformis muscle. It attaches itself from the pelvis and it kind of weaves itself all the way down to the top of the femur. And then you've got your sciatic nerve that runs through there as well. In fact, the whole area is like spaghetti junction. And when it's tight and you've got so many nerves and connective tissues there, again, this whole area can cause strain in the back, all the way down the side of the leg, all the way down through to the knees. This is a huge area, so make sure that we stretch this one. This is, although we're working on the back, we're actually working on the areas that where tightness cause problems with the back. So this is a really important one. Okay guys, just inhale, release. And as you exhale, I want you just to pull that bottom leg in just a little bit more. Feel the stretch. Okay, you can put your hand on the shin of the left leg if that helps and press in. Okay, and release. And we're going to go to the other side. So let's cross the left leg over the right. And once again, we're just going to take the right leg in hand and ease the right leg into the chest and feel the stretch on the left hand side. So remember, this is the piriformis muscle. It's where your sciatic nerve runs, and it comes all the way from the back, from the hip, all the way down the side of the leg, all the way down to the knee, and can cause huge lower back problems if it's tight. So this is a great one to stretch out. Okay, inhale, and as you exhale, maybe we'll just go a little bit deeper, maybe press onto the shin of the right leg and just press that a little bit further in. Okay, fantastic. Okay guys, release. I hope you're starting to feel a little bit more mobile. I know we're not going very fast, but that's the intention. Okay, we are going to start to energize just a little bit more now. If anybody wants to stay on their backs, they absolutely can. Okay, I'm going to start to roll up and down my spine just like a ball, maybe 3 or 4 times. Okay, so I'm rolling up and down, and this is really energizing. So what it does is it starts to create an exchange of fluid through the spinal column, and it's really good. It just kind of nourishes the back. So just give me one more. And on the next roll, I'd like you to come into a baby balasana. So we're going to come into child's pose, but I want you to almost come into like a shell pose. So keep it small, keep it tight. Okay, just snuggle down. And in this position, you often find that you can stretch out your lumbar spine a little bit more. So we're going to put the knees together for this one, guys. Okay, so that's it. Well done, Alex. So knees together. And then I'd like you to place your forearms on the floor in front of you, a little bit like a Sphinx position. Okay, so we're like this. And from here, we're going to try and attempt cat-cow. And you will start to see just how small the movement in the spine is, because in a minute I'm going to take you up and we'll release the pelvis and you'll see where the movement really comes. So from here, what I'd like you to do is exhale and send your spine up to the roof as high as you can. Exhale, so cat. And then inhale, send your belly button to the floor and look up to the sky. Cow. And the movement's really quite restricted, isn't it? It's quite tiny. So let's go again. Inhale, cat. Send your spine to the ceiling. And inhale, cow. Send your belly button to the floor. Okay, now let's come on to all fours, guys. And let's try that one more time. So now I'd like you to exhale, come into cat, send the spine up to the ceiling. Look how much more movement you have when your pelvis is released. So we think that our spine is actually super flexible, but often it's the pelvis that's doing the job for us. We just don't realise. Okay, inhale, send the belly button to the floor, send the torso to the sky, gaze up. And let's go again. Exhale, send the spine to the ceiling. Cat. And inhale, drop the belly button to the floor, send the tailbone to the sky, look up. And just give me one more of those, guys, in your own time. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Well done. Excuse me for turning round. Okay. I want to have my face facing the sun. Okay, I'm going to come into a neutral position now. So neutral back. And what I'd like you to do is take your right hand and place it in the middle of the mat. Okay, and then you're going to take your left shoulder and you're going to turn your shoulder up to the sky, not your arm, just your shoulder. And you're going to twist back and tap the floor and then come back again. All I want you to do is your shoulder rather than your arm. Twist. And tap back to the floor. And then on the third one, we'll twist and then we'll extend the arm. And take the arm behind you. And then we're going to come back and feed it all the way under. And by having the hand in the middle, it means you can get a little bit more leverage there. And I'd like you to drop your cheek to the floor and simply try and get the shoulder that's on the floor as far across the mat as possible, and the shoulder that's in the air as far north as possible. And from here, just breathe. Try not to be tense, try and just release. You can take your hand behind your back if that helps. Okay, release and come back up. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to take the left hand and we're going to put it in the centre of the mat. And then we're going to take the right shoulder and we're simply going to twist the right shoulder up to the sky as far as we can and then bend back down, tap the floor with the elbow. Do it one more time. Inhale, exhale. On the third go, we inhale and then we extend the arm and then we potentially wrap it around our backs just to give us that extra bit of twist. And then feed the arm all the way through and drop your cheek to the floor and try to get your shoulder that's on the floor as far across the mat as possible and the top shoulder as far back as possible. And you may use your hand as a lever to twist. Fantastic. Well done, guys. And just breathe. Okay, release that one. And just come back out. And then from here, we're going to simply come forwards into a prone position. So we're going to be on our fronts. And we're just going to do some back strengthening work whilst we're here. Okay? Okay, so what I want us to do is face our nose down to the mat. So try and keep a straight spine. And I'd like you to think about engaging the glutes. So squeeze the glutes. Hover the hands off the floor, and without pressing into the floor, just use the strength of your back and your core, which wraps all the way around to lift. So inhale and exhale. And you might find that the movement is tiny, but all the muscles in the back are firing. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, press the top of the feet into the floor, hover and exhale. This time send the arms out directly in front of you in the shape of a V. And as you inhale, draw the arms back, almost like a W, and draw the shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale, send the arms back out. Let's go again. Inhale, draw the arms in. Bring the shoulder blades together. Exhale, press back out. Now place the hands on the floor and let's use the leverage of the hands to lift the chest up high. So we're going to squeeze the glutes and inhale, come on up, cobra. And exhale, go all the way down. As you come down, try and make sure the elbows don't flare out to the side, try and send them back. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, wave all the way down to the floor. And on the next inhale, come up. And then press back to a child's pose. And this time, if you want to, you could go to an extended child's pose. So maybe big toes together, knees as wide as feels comfortable. And just allow your torso to melt down to the mat. Allow your torso to sink to the heels of the feet. And slowly creep the fingers forwards. And your forehead just to melt down to the earth. Okay, let's take a lateral stretch here. So I'd like you to walk the hands off the mat over to the right hand side. And when you've gone as far as you can go, whilst keeping your torso completely still, take your left hand and wrap it over the top of your right hand. Inhale, and then as you exhale, press that left hip back down to the earth. Feel the stretch of the side of the body. It feels gorgeous. Okay, walk the hands back to center. And let's repeat the action on the other side. Go as far as you can go without unhinging the hips from the center. Take the right hand and cross it over the top of the left hand. Inhale, and as you exhale, draw the right hip down to the heel of the foot. Feel the stretch. Okay, walking back to center. From here, guys, we're going to come into a tabletop, and then we're going to tuck the toes under, and we're going to go into our first and only downward dog, okay? So if this is uncomfortable for you, or you've drank too much wine, and you're in danger of, I don't know, not feeling too good, don't go there, okay? Just go into child's pose, tuck the toes under, hover the knees, and from here I want you to think about sending the torso up to the sky, come onto tiptoes, and simply press your torso as high as it will go, and just walk it out on your tiptoes, lovely. Okay, inhale tiptoes, exhale as we slowly lower the heels down to the earth. That is a target, that is not an instruction, okay? So that is a target for you. You can always put a bend in your knees. I'd rather see your torso extended up to the sky with bent knees than a rounded spine and heels to the floor. So the most important thing is that you're creating a V shape. Fingers are spread wide, press away from the earth, activate through your serratus anterior, that's the muscle so just below the armpits, to really push away from the earth. Okay, from here we're going to take a spinal twist. So take the right hand and grab the left ankle, the left thigh, the left knee, whatever you can get hold of, and then take a twist under your armpit. Woo, hello. I think my top's riding up, sorry. I'm just going to tuck that in. Okay, taking a twist. And let's go to the other side. Replace the right hand, now remove the left hand and grab the right ankle, right knee, the right thigh, whatever you can, and twist under the arm and feel the stretch of the back of the leg as well as of the spine. And release. Okay guys, from here I'd like you to stride the right leg up to the sky. And then bring the right knee and just bring it into the nose, forehead, hover, and then plant it between the hands and the front of the mat and drop the back knee down. And we're coming into a crescent lunge. Okay, now you might wonder why a crescent lunge is important in a back stretch class. Okay, so once again, very much like the piriformis, the psoas muscle here, the hip flexors, if they're super tight, they cause you to come forwards and cause you back pain. So again, it's really important that we get a major stretch through here. All these areas through sitting, driving, running, standing, walking, they all get super tight. So we've got to stretch them out. Okay, so what I want you to do here is I want you to press your heel into the earth, press your hand to the top of the knee, press away. And then drive the hips forwards, chest is open, look to the sky. Inhale. And from here you can also think about energizing through the top of the back foot into the floor. Feel the stretch. Okay, let's take it a little bit deeper, guys. We're going to swoop our left arm up to the sky and simply open out towards the right hand side. Okay? That's it, lovely. Can you feel a greater stretch? Yeah? Okay. Okay, and release. And from here, we're just going to lift the back foot, lift the back knee, sweep the foot back into our plank. And go on, let's do a tricep dip. Knees down if you want to, or all the way. And inhale, cobra. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. We're not going to stay here long, guys. We're just going to sweep that left leg up to the sky. And then drive that left knee up to the forehead, up to the nose. Hover, hover, inhale. And as you exhale, plant the foot on the floor between the hands and come into that crescent lunge. So drive it forwards, and then we're going to take it a little bit further. So we're going to put the hands on the knee. We're going to draw the chest up, and then we're going to push forwards. Okay, and just put a mini extension of the back, so we're just leaning back. Energize through the top of the back foot into the floor, and press through the front heel. Really think about the muscle that you're stretching. It's a huge muscle all the way down the front of the leg, and it pulls on the back. We're almost there, guys. We're almost down to our Shavasana. Okay, guys, hands to the floor. Lift the back knee off, whip the foot away, high plank, and then press back, downward facing dog. And from here, I want you to slowly, slowly make a journey towards the front of the mat. Just one baby step at a time. And we're going to take the feet wide of the hands, okay? So I'm going to come forwards so you can see me. And I'm going to turn my toes out to about 45 degrees. And have your feet as wide as you need them to allow you to tilt the pelvis down, the chest is up. And I want you to sink down into your version of Buddha squat. Okay, so you can go as wide or as narrow, I'm now sliding, as wide or as narrow as you feel comfortable. If you need to roll up a little cushion and pop it under your heels, you can do that. So if you've got a towel handy or a blanket, you can do that. And just try and get comfortable here, okay? You're right, Kate? Okay, press the left elbow into the left knee. And we're going to take a spinal twist. So draw the right shoulder up to the side and extend. Breathe. Once again, your pelvis is in lockdown in this position, making that spinal twist that little bit more special. And replace. Take the right elbow into the right knee. So you are much more flexible than you ever were. Draw that shoulder up to the sky. And extend. Fantastic. Okay, release. Back down. Bottom is going on to the earth. Just let yourself go down. Woo! Okay, people, are you feeling okay, yeah? Cool. Right then. This is where my hair goes in flames. I'm just going to sit with cross legs. Okay, so I have got my left leg in front of my right leg. Okay, team, and I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to grab my left knee. I'm going to sit tall and I'm going to take a twist to the back of the room. More twisting. Gorgeous. Try and get that back shoulder as far back as you can. Try and do it without using leverage. Take the arms away. Try it and see how far you go. Okay, come back to centre. And from here, I just want you to creep forwards and feel the stretch in the lower back. So rather than rounding the spine over, look forwards. Try and look forwards. So you should feel it in the outer hip, and it's also going to give you a back stretch when I ask you to walk the hands over to the opposite side. So you'd walk your hands over to the right. Now feel a stretch all the way down the left-hand side of the back. Can you feel that, guys? Yeah? Okay, back to centre. And from here, all we're going to do is we're going to swap over the legs. So now you've got your right leg in front. We take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. We sit tall. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the back of the room. Try and twist without actually using the leverage and see how far you really go. It's actually not that far, is it? So always be mindful, although we're sort of yanking ourselves round, make sure that you do it with compassion with your own body, that you're not actually taking it so far beyond its natural range of motion. Okay, back to centre. And we're going to creep forwards. Okay guys, I'm looking forwards. So I'm going to take this stretch. You can decide actually, I'm taking the stretch in the hip because I'm keeping my spine straight. If you want to get a back stretch, you can obviously just arch over and give yourself a little back stretch. Okay, now let's walk the hands over to the left, and this is where the back stretch really kicks in. And you can feel it all the way down the side. Eddie's decided to join me on the mat, haven't you? Okay, back to centre. And here, guys, is where you get to lay down and you get to choose which position you want to go into. So, I'm going to grab my cushion. I've got my sheepskin. Yes. And I'm going to simply, I actually like to cross my legs when I lie down. So you can either go straight legs, you can cross the legs. Recently, if you've got a pillow, if you remember, some of the other things we've been doing is we've been taking the legs into the sky, so you could go a happy baby. Or you could put your cushion under your bottom and send your legs up to the sky and just elevate your bottom. It's your choice. But all I want you to do is find your ultimate position. And I'm going to stop talking and we're going to listen to an awesome track. Well, I think it's awesome anyway, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to turn it up. Close your eyes and enjoy.
Looking from a window above, it's like a story of love. Can you hear me? Came back only yesterday, and moving farther away. Once you near me, all I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day, and all I ever knew, only you. Sometimes when nothing calls the name, when it's only a game, and I need you. Listen to the words that you say, it's getting harder to stay. When I see you, all I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day, and all I ever knew. All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day, and all I ever knew, only you. Only you. This is gonna take a long time, and I wonder what's mine. Can't take no more. Wonder if you'll understand. It's just the touch of your hand behind a closed door. All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day, and all I ever knew, only you. All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day, and all I ever knew, only you.
Okay guys, so from there, all I want you to do is stay exactly where you are if you want to. And if you want to roll up and say hello or goodbye and possibly share a little toast, then hug your knees into your chest. Just give yourself one last little roll from side to side. And then I'm just going to roll on up. And I'm going to unmute you all and say hello. Hello, my lovelies.
Hi, that was so lovely.
Oh,
That was really lovely.
Thank you.
did you like it?
Yeah.
Really nice.
Amazing.
Amazing, thank you.
Right, I've stopped recording now.